I'm Cory Owens. I have been attending Lighthouse for about 9 months now. A couple years ago, however, I was confronted by my mom. She wanted me to join a small group. So I was hesitant at first, and I knew the people leading the small group, the Hearns, and they're amazing people. But I also knew there was going to be a lot of older people, and so I was worried about that and worried that I wasn't going to be able to connect, and it was absolutely the opposite. And just had people that had been following Christ for 20 to 30 years and all the life experience that comes from that, and they were just able to pour in and shine light on things in my life and give great advice and really help me in my walk with Jesus and knowing Him more and how to know Him more and practical steps of obedience and all those kind of things. And a couple weeks later, it's like week 4 of the study, and I had gotten a lot of scans and different things for my shoulder because I was going into the military, and I had a physical coming up that I didn't want to fail, and I had a bump on my shoulder. Thought it was just from working out and doing that kind of stuff, preparing for the military, but it ended up actually being cancer. And I remember when my mom called me, and just I came home. It was at a friend's house, and all my friends and family were there, and everyone was crying. And my mom told me, and I just had a certain peace about it. And that just doesn't come like in my own self, and that's nothing the world can offer. And those couple weeks leading up where I was in the study and was being poured into and at the peak of my relationship with the Lord because of this group was really what gave me that peace, and really how I could see Jesus in that moment and not see all the fears that this world had to offer, and not be afraid of cancer because I had Jesus and I had that focus, and I knew that ultimately that to live as Christ and to die as gain, and that was my mindset, and praise the Lord for that. And I remember just going to group that night, or I guess later that week or whatever it was, and just the whole group just like coming around me and just laying hands on me, and just all of us just crying, and and just like there was just so much peace and so much joy in that moment, even in the midst of trials, in the midst of suffering, and knowing what was to come, and chemo treatments and all these different things, and losing my hair, and just all of this. It just in that moment could only just focus on Jesus, and it was only good, and it was just everything was just great about it. Fast forward a couple years, and I'm cancer-free and healthy, and I can just look back on that time in my life and know that that's exactly where the Lord would have me at that time. And we're not meant to do life alone, and we need believers, and we need to be praying for one another, and it's just so helpful to us, and it's something that we need as a church, and we need other believers, and we need to be praying for one another and bearing one another's burdens, and getting down in the trenches with one another. And that's what these groups are all about. It's all about doing life together, and whether you're doing a study on Francis Chan or whatever it is, ultimately it's about loving one another and stirring one another on towards Jesus and into a love for other people. I'm Cory, and I love my LH group.